Good morning. This is Art Andrews, and welcome to the Corner Table. You know, the Philadelphia area is absolutely ripe with cultural organizations. We have a world-class orchestra, the Philadelphia Orchestra, of course, the Grand Old Dame of Broad Street, the Academy of Music, the brand new Kimmel Center, and that's just in the city. Throughout the 8-county metropolitan area are numerous theater companies and playhouses. And these facilities give area residents the chance to fulfill dreams of acting, singing, and dancing. And perhaps you didn't know, but there's an organization which helps to strengthen and lead the region's rich, diverse theater community. It's called the Thearter Alliance of Greater Philadelphia, and my guest at the corner table this morning is Margie Salvati, its executive director. We'll meet Margie, talk about the alliance, as well as her background, right after this message. Well, good morning, Margie. Nice to have you here.
Good morning.
And what I'd like to start off with is to let our listeners know a little bit about yourself. What's your background?
Well, you know, I'm actually brand new to Philadelphia.
Yes, we were talking before the show.
I actually just arrived in July.
You're a native New Yorker.
I'm a native New Yorker. That's right. I was born and raised on Long Island.
Long Island, yes.
And went to the city when I was in my 20s, and I was there for a good 20 years working in the theater industry there. And I did some acting and directing and that stuff, but mostly I was doing arts and education, theater education.
Okay.
And for the better part of the last 10 years served as the director of education at the Roundabout Theater Company, which is a major theater institution, a Tony Award-winning theater, you know, all that glamorous stuff.
Yes,
And
yes.
I was able to bring young people to the Roundabout and interact with lots of wonderful stars and had a great time.
But now here you are, executive director of the Theater Alliance.
Yeah.
And the Theater Alliance of Greater Philadelphia is really an outgrowth of the Performing Arts League, and it was created in 1990. The Alliance currently has over 100 organizational members. People don't realize that there's so many theater organizations in the tri-state area.
Yeah, it's actually something that I didn't recognize before I came here, but I actually came to Philadelphia because I wanted to live here. There were a lot of things attracting me to Philadelphia.
It's a great city, isn't it?
It is a great city. I was
is.
looking for a better quality of life, and I found it here.
It gets a little crowded in Manhattan.
It gets a little crowded.
Yeah.
I was working in Times Square, so don't even get me started.
No.
But, you know, I started to investigate the theater industry down here to say, well, is there an opportunity for me here? And I was just really pleasantly surprised to find just how rich and diverse the theater community is down here.
It's a healthy community as far as the theater is concerned, is it not?
Yes. You know, I've been, you know, as I said, I just came in July, and I've been doing a lot of investigating to try to find out all of the details.
Right.
One of the things I stumbled on was the Philadelphia Cultural Alliance, which kind of serves the full cultural community.
Yes.
They did a study just to see, you know, what is the economic impact of culture in Philadelphia. And some of the things that they found out is that culture...
Now, I just want to stop you, because what's interesting about what you're about to tell us is that this doesn't make the media. This doesn't make the mainstream press like it should.
That's right.
Maybe once in a while, but go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Well, for example, the cultural community here is collectively a $1.3 billion industry.
Right.
And it's providing over 40,000 jobs in the cultural sector. And that translates to 10 jobs for every 1,000 residents in Philadelphia, greater Philadelphia area, the Delaware Valley, really. So that is really significant. And the other thing that's very significant is that Philadelphians participate in that culture to a very high percentage. There are about 83% of Philadelphia's households participate in culture on a regular basis.
That's an amazingly high number.
It's actually 10% higher than the national average. So that's
why do you think that is?
Well, I think it has something to do with the character of Philadelphia,
right?
Which is one of the things that I've fallen in love with since I got here.
Yeah.
I have a quote that I've been using. There's a theater quote, and this is from Edward Albee, who is a renowned playwright, and he tells us that the true value of theater is that it tells us who we are.
Okay.
And you know, this is significant because every great play really essentially asks the question, how should we live? And gives us models for that. We identify with those characters.
What's really interesting is talking to you as a native New Yorker, and you are singing the praises of our city,
Right.
Which is great because, you know, New Yorkers are so, what's the word I want to use, provincial when it comes to their town. There's just no place in the world like New York. So to hear somebody come from New York to Philadelphia and say, hey, what a great town this is, it's refreshing.
Well, you know, because it gets a little, you get kind of squeezed out, you get tired, it's a very, very stressful place.
Yeah.
And so,
yeah.
You know, going back to Albee, when you asked that question, how should we live?
Mm-hmm.
Then what follows, he then goes on to say the health of the theater is determined by how much we care to know.
Okay.
And so when you see a theater community like Philadelphia that is just absolutely thriving, you realize that you have a community that really cares
Excuse me.
to know about itself.
Yes.
Philadelphia is a place where people care about quality of life,
Right.
where people care about the question of how they should live, and are interested in going out and seeking opportunities to reflect on that through culture, and specifically through theater.
And before we began the program, you were saying how excited you are about our new mayor, Mike Nutter.
I am absolutely thrilled because he really gets this. He really understands the role that culture plays in the health of the city, and he's already looking at the cultural community to sort of join the fray. You know, we were talking about the question of violence. You had said earlier that, you know, what the media puts out there about Philadelphia is, you know, top crime city. And of course we have a terrible violence problem, and we all need to work very hard to solve that problem.
Yes.
But we also have tremendous assets, tremendous resources going for us to apply to that problem.
Right.
And theater is among the top, from my perspective.
Yes.
You know, coming from a background of education, I have really seen firsthand the power that theater can have to transform lives.